Now, Princess Anne has revealed the late Queen Elizabeth feared that dying at Balmoral would make her funeral more difficult to organise. A new documentary explores how the monarch was eventually persuaded by her family to put her own comfort before her concern for others after a lifetime of duty. 96-year-old Elizabeth II died peacefully at her beloved Scottish home in September last year after reigning for 70 years. Princess Anne was the only member of the royal family to be at the castle when it became clear the Queen was entering her final hours. The BBC film will also share never-seen-before footage of the King's preparation for his coronation in May. Princess Anne reveals that she felt a sense of relief that responsibility was being moved on.
Well, ask any actor who comes off stage, having done a performance that they really put a lot into, is that kind of relief.
Well, I actually think that Queen Elizabeth II dying at Balmoral, a place that she absolutely loved, where she felt at peace, where she felt at home, where she spent her summer holidays, was actually her gift to Scotland and a love letter to Scotland. She was keen on the Union staying together. And of course, it gave the opportunity for Scotland to be a huge part of that 11 days of mourning. You had Operation Unicorn, which was part of Operation London Bridge, which was the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. And it meant that you had all those, those incredible shots of the Queen's coffin driving through. That part of Scotland I know very well because I'm from Scotland, not from there, but I know very well. And it's beautiful, all those aerial shots. And it allowed Scotland to be centre stage and allowed Queen Elizabeth to sort of say to the world, Scotland is a really important part of the Union. It's a beautiful place. You get to see what I loved, why I loved it. You had the pipers and everything in Edinburgh. It was just gorgeous. So I think it's really good that her family persuaded her that dying there, a place that she loved the most, a place that she could put on the map, a place where she could say, in her final act of service, Scotland is a very important part of the United Kingdom to me, to the Union, and especially when, you have independence votes looming all the time. And also gave them a boost in the polls of the royal family and their popularity at that time as well.
I'm enjoying Princess Anne these days because she's come a long way from putting a finger up at various other people in the 1970s. And she's the kind of, while, Prince William is the heir to the throne of King Charles, I think she's the heir to the Duke of Edinburgh, isn't she? She's acted with great dignity. And, she was there. She had a special relationship with the Queen. And I think, actually, she's an increasingly important member of the royal family because Harry and Meghan as royal... We'll talk about them later. But Harry and Meghan as working royals have moved on, and she is part, I think, of the heavy lifting that's needed.
Well, she is, because I think there's that special relationship that I suppose we know about between her and Charles. She has this incredible understanding, and I think that even in that little piece, you see the difference between understanding the institution of the royal family, the monarchy, and the role of, family matriarch and what that meant, and the sorts of differential that you must have to, put into your own life. And I think it's kind of partly, I suppose, shows that late Queen really had that huge dedication to duty that she thought that, being an inconvenience was more important than actually what she wanted, given that she's done what the nation wanted for so many years. But having met, Princess Anne here and there, and having had a few conversations, she's incredibly articulate, enormously warm, very funny, and also really gets, probably more than most members of the royal family, that understanding of what the monarchy is and what duty means.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just bringing it back to the Queen, because I do think it's quite remarkable that even... This is one of those things that stayed with Princess Anne from her mother passing. Obviously, her legacy is unquestionable, but the fact that she was worried about not being too much of a bother, right? So they're thinking, actually, I don't want them to create a fuss over my funeral. But it's something that I think that is what I most appreciated about the Queen, just this undying sense of duty and being humble humble. And when you are someone like the Queen, when you're in the position of power that you are, but you always hold your values of humility and duty so close to your heart. I think that's something that I find personally inspiring.
is it fair to say that she is, or was rather, the most famous woman in the world?
Probably, but there's a reason for that. She wasn't just famous because of the crown on her head or the legacy or any of that. It was the sense of duty there, and I think you can see that with Princess Anne. She's the hardest working royal. She had the most royal engagements last year.
Such a stark contrast with our more selfish, younger ex-royals. You know, the sense that it's always about them. With the Queen, this comment about, you know, will it be an inconvenience? Which, you know, what you're dying and just
funny.
Funny, yeah. But the awareness, the awareness of not being a burden on others, and even in her dying, she was thinking of others and displaying that service.